On tonight's episode, we talk about Queenpins.
And other pop culture news. Today is Saturday, September 11th. So first of all, we want to send our sentiments. Is that the proper way to say?
Yeah, sentiments, thoughts, condolences.
Yeah, to the families.
Gratitude. Of
the many victims. Gratitude to the first responders and the heroes that worked to during that tough, if not the hardest moment in the modern American history. And yeah, so might we never forget the tragedy and also the sacrifices involved. But you want to add anything?
No, I think you said it all.
Yeah.
I think you said it all. It was a hard... No, I said I don't want to add anything. Now I'm going to add something.
You sure? That's how it works.
No, it was... I don't know what to say. It was like the worst day. But I feel like it brought out the best in so many people, and we saw the best and the worst of humanity that day. And I'll always be grateful for and admire and respect the people who stepped up to save their fellow man, to right the wrongs, and we'll never forget that.
Yeah, it changed the world forever, and it was not only America. It changed
the world.
How we go through airports, for instance, and how banks work. It changed so many things, and it changed how. And anyways, so that's our little 9/11 moment note tribute like that. Okay, so September is starting, and we have a lot of news. We saw a lot of things, but today we saw this new movie called Queenpins. Yeah,
not Kingpin.
Yep.
Queenpins.
Starring Kristen Bell, Vince Vaughn, Paul Thomas Hauser. Is that his name? Sure.
Yeah, yes. I'm double checking, but yeah. Paul Walter
Hauser and Kirby Baptiste. You know her and Kristen Bell because they work together on, what's it called?
The Good Place.
The Good Place. Vince Vaughn is very known for many comedies, even though his character is actually a little bit serious in this.
He is. He's like the straight man in this one.
Yeah, and there's Walter Hauser. That it's kind of a typecast. He's been that character on.
Oh no! What was that movie called? The Atlanta one, right?
Yeah. What's it called? It's
I can't remember.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
Oh, is the name of the guy Richard Jewell? Well, I think it's Richard. Richard Jewell. So he's the main character, and another similarity, just to connect these two movies, these two are based in true stories. Of course, Richard Jewell, it's a serious movie, is
it's very closely based,
directed by Clint Eastwood, it's a masterpiece. It's a really well done movie to dramatically reenact what happened to that character during the bombing of Atlanta Olympics. This one is based on a real story, but they changed a little bit. They made it light. They made it a comedy.
Yeah, so maybe it's more accurate to say inspired by.
And that's what they said in the beginning, right?
Yeah, inspired by true events.
Yeah. So, does anyone else you want to mention that's in the movie? I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, those are the familiar faces.
Okay. So let's go through a brief summary of the plot.
Okay, so it's kind of a wacky story. As you could tell from the cast, it's definitely leans towards the comedy side. So we've got Kristen Bell. She's an Olympic gold medalist, race walker. Has a very unhappy marriage with Joel McHale, IRS agent. Best friend lives next door. Victim of identity theft, trying to rebuild her life from scratch. So they're both.
Wait. let's do a spoiler alert.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Since you're going deeply into the story, so
sorry, I have a hard time
going.
with summaries because I feel like you just have to. Anyway,
but
these two women.
Yeah, go ahead.
They are at points in their lives when they're really unsatisfied. They're really into couponing though, and they chance upon an opportunity for a scam that ends up being really profitable. They figure out if they can steal like a whole bunch of coupons, like the really good ones for free products, and they can sell them online and make a ton of money. And they do, but it turns out they're like really terrible criminals.
Yeah.
And we just kind of follow them through that process. And then Vince Vaughn and the guy whose name I've already forgotten, they're the law trying to catch up with them. And that's basically the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the trailer is hilarious and pretty much summarizes the story, which is basically it. Based in the movie talks about two ladies from Phoenix. The real story is actually about three ladies from Phoenix, one being a grandma. And so they decided to pull that scheme. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the identity theft and that girl. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that was kind of a. I don't know if it just happened, right? Sure, she would be in trouble. But it seems like that was years ago. She was still struggling from it.
Yeah, because what happened was nobody believed her that her identity had been stolen. Okay. And so she was still like on the hook. Her credit score was shot because of all this debt that she couldn't pay. So yeah, that's what I got. It wasn't like a huge plot point. It really just kind of explained like why she's in desperate circumstances. Yeah.
Especially anyways. But so this thing happened years ago, but the movie takes place on these days. There's things there's cell phones, there's Venmo, there's what else? There was some other thing that indicated that it was very current. I can't remember what was it.
Well, you see them on you mentioned cell phones. You see them on iPhones and
yeah, but there was one thing that it was like very, very current. Anyways, so we have these two characters, and we have this story. There's this whole thing about villains. They don't think they're villains, right? They think they are misunderstood, or they are going for justified vengeance.
Yeah, or like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, like, if it was you, you would do the same.
Yeah, and like we're not really hurting anybody. Yeah. We're helping these people who buy these coupons to provide for their families. Yeah,
there's like those glimpses of Robin Hood and stuff. It's like it's like no, it's like you guys know about, and there's like it's basically two idiots, Because in some moments they could convey, they could go deep and show how traumatized she is because of personal and family tragedy. She was an Olympian, and then she became a regular person. And she mentions that like people think Olympians are rich and and they live high life, but in truth, like once you're done, you're gonna live a regular life. And she was Olympian on even the most luxurious, most prestigious of the sports.
Yeah, she's a race walker.
Yeah.
Which is probably the most mocked. Like maybe that and curling. But I feel like curling is like affectionately mocked, and race walking is just like, what are you people doing?
It's race walking, but for men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, it's men shaking their booties.
It involves a lot of hip work. And all due respect to the athleticism, you just can't watch it without looking. Anyway.
Anyways, so they could dive deep into go to this the mental issues caused by tragedy, caused by, going so high and then becoming a regular person. But because it's a comedy and they stick to the comedy, at least that's the feeling I had. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really, really funny.
It was.
I don't know if that was the idea. Sometimes it fails. Sometimes they wanted to make a drama. But in this case, I'm pretty sure it was.
I mean, given the cast, the fact that like Ben Stiller was one of the executive producers.
What the IMDb says? What's
that's a good question. Let's take a look. Where would it be? Where would
on
they
the
say?
top? Comedy crime. So it is a comedy. So okay, good, because it was funny.
So we talked about, like, he mentioned, like, how these women are idiots, but, like, their idea was really solid. They made a ridiculous amount of money, like tens of millions of dollars, and ended up costing these big companies like Procter & Gamble and General Mills, ended up costing them, like, even more money. So it was, like, a huge deal. But at least in the film, they're just really bad at being criminals. So one of the, like, comedic highlights is they've got this ridiculous amount of money. Their PayPal gets shut down, so they turn to this woman on the dark web to, like, help them like, unlock the PayPal account, help them, like, figure out how to manage all this.
And it's funny when they was like, you know what? You need someone to fix this. Who could do that? Was like a criminal. I was like, do we know any criminals? And then they go to the criminal that stole the one of them.
Yeah, that stolen JoJo's identity. Yeah. So so they go to her and they talk about, okay, so they've got this plan working, and then they realize, wait, we've got all this money, but it's all dirty money. We've got to launder it. So they go crazy. They buy Lamborghinis, and they buy a speedboat. They buy a ridiculous amount of ridiculously large guns. And then they try to sell all of it, you know, like selling guns. You know what raises red flags is selling, anyway. Selling a bunch of guns.
For me,
they solve it, but then they realize the criminal who's helping them.
Yeah, there's a singer, Bebe Rexha.
Yeah, she was like, guys, that money was cleaned.
Yeah.
So they spent, like, half the movie trying to launder clean money.
Yeah.
And on the way, like, throwing up all these red flags. So, like, selling tons of weapons to a militia group.
And you know, when you have good writing, you can create sympathy for the devil, for criminals, for bad guys. Mm-hmm. You know, we saw that on Breaking Bad is a big classic example. And there's Sopranos, and there's the Joker, and there's plenty others that, you know, people if not admire them, but it feels for them to the point that, you know, create an empathy and sympathy that they will take the bad guys' side. You know, when the police is coming, if the writing is good, you're not going to be rooting for the police, but you're going to be rooting for the bad guy. Mm-hmm. In this case, it's not about that. It's like they're so stupid and idiotic that's like it's kind of funny, and you know, and you're following their side of the story all the time. You know, they make money and they be successful, and then comes a little bit of drama, familial drama, here and there to, you know, color their lives. And tell us something about them, but then towards the end, you know, because we have this interesting dynamic duo of a postal inspector, because the guy that starts the whole someone is doing something bad. It's what's it called? Claims, not claims.
He's loss prevention officer.
Loss prevention officer of a supermarket. Chain. And he starts receiving a lot of calls and complaints about this many coupons, and he works doing that with fake coupons that people try to use. But in this case, it's like, no, this is really good. This is
what? These are fake. These are perfect. What's going on?
He spends days without sleeping.
Yeah. 11 days. I haven't slept. Fueled by caffeine and heartburn.
He narrates like this noir detective.
Oh, it's fantastic. He takes his job so seriously. He's such a great foil for these, like, goofy criminals.
Yeah. Fun fact, he's from Salt Lake City. I don't know why they picked this place. I guess it's full of weirdos. Anyways, so this guy contacted the FBI, and the FBI, okay, gonna send us up to DC. And they actually sent, I was surprised that they did. So they sent in some analysts in a basement. It's like, you know what? You might have a case, but I don't know what to do. I can't do anything. And then he mentions how people buy coupons online and receive on the mail. And it's like, mail?
Postal inspector.
We're gonna send you. It was like,
we're gonna send your boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground in
within 48 hours.
And in 47, the mailman is there.
Yeah. Vince Vaughn, but he's not a mailman.
Yes.
The mailman carries mail. He carries a gun. Ooh.
Yeah, even though he's a serious guy, he's not like laughing and giggling like most of his roles.
Yeah.
He's actually, his character is very funny. So,
it is. And I thought this was a nice change. So in real life, it was just like the local police and FBI and stuff. This was a nice twist. I thought it added a little bit to the comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Made it a little bit more goofy. And like postal inspectors, they don't have any movies.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
If anything, talking about reality, I'm really curious. You mentioned the boats and the and the cars and all the money they spent. I'm curious because the real characters bought that stuff when they got raided by the police. They found all that stuff. So I wonder if they bought them like because they wanted for their use, or it was the same stupid situation that there's like trying to launder money.
You mean like if the real life people were trying to launder their clean money? Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Anyway, so the movie towards the end, gets to a point that they get caught, they get arrested, they go to court, and they've been sentenced really lightly because
extremely lightly, because Vince Vaughn tells Kristen Bell that she could be facing because of the scale of this fraud, she could be facing 40 years to life. So like that's what they're looking at. Yeah,
but they get away with a slap in the wrist. One get 11 months in jail.
Yeah.
The other one just get probation. And in the movie, there's even a twist that make them better. It's like there's actually money that the postal inspectors never found. But it kind of in the end was kind of like weird. I feel like they there was one scene specifically at the end when she's incarcerated and her husband goes to visit her. And he says something snarky and inappropriate.
It's Joel McHale, so.
Yeah, so normal.
Yeah.
and
he could be like, even I think if he was being really sincere, I don't think I could take him seriously. He's just like inherently sarcastic. Anyway.
Yeah, but then she texts like, "Oh, I want a divorce." I was like, is I don't know if it was something on her mental condition or if it was writing to make her look like a victim of society circumstances or the marriage that was failing already because of also circumstances because she lost a baby. But for me, it wasn't really well done. If they wanted to make her a victim, or if they wanted to make her that she I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be an empowering moment. The divorce thing, or asking for the divorce, was supposed to be an empowering moment.
Yeah, but
her character.
But it kind of like making him the bad guy. But there's like
not the bad guy. I mean, it definitely, even before the whole like massive fraud, like their marriage was clearly in trouble, and it was like even teams. They were both pretty terrible to each other.
Yeah,
was the impression that I had. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that was that in the end. But then we had lives changing, like our claims. What's it called? Propagation claims. What's it called? The claim guy. The
loss prevention.
Loss prevention guy
yes.
is like he becomes a better person working with Vince Vaughn. It's like, hey, that's what we try to do. We do our best to get the criminals, and the judiciary gonna do their role, and we hope that we go home alive and well to our loved ones. And we're gonna call my wife and leave. There's a cute note about the postal system and letters.
Yeah.
They have this. He has this letter that someone from World War I was sending home, and it's funny. Not funny. It's interesting how they create the suspense on what happened to that guy. It's like it doesn't matter. Our job is to deliver the letter, and the letter gets there. I said, but what happened after? It's like, don't worry. But at the end, we have a answer for that, and the letter got there, and the guy survived, went back home, and some get into a more serious, more interesting. But then they cut right away because Vince Vaughn's like, "This is for you." I said, "Oh, no, not the ladder. Not the ladder. The lesson."
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, I'd say like this isn't like, I don't think this is like a classic that's gonna like endure the test of time, but it was really fun. It was entertaining, and I would recommend it. Let me check the rating. There were some F-bombs.
For me, it was a bit. How long is the movie? What's the time?
Okay, it's an hour and 15 minutes. It is rated R. I think just because of the F-bombs.
I think it could lose some 20 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah, if it was 90 minutes, it would be. It would work better for everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there you have it.
Yeah, it's
Queenpins. It's out in the theaters. So yeah, if you want to see something this week, go check this one.
Yeah. Okay, the theaters are not the only place where good stuff is happening. There are some great shows streaming on a few networks right now, and we watched some this week.
Yes, there's a couple of new shows, and there's a couple old shows, but we finally catch them up. Mm-hmm. The new one we watched this week is called Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, so this is a mystery
brought to you by
brought to you by Squarespace. Just kidding. Not them. So this is Steve Martin Short, and Selena Gomez.
It's on Hulu.
Yes, it's on Hulu. And Steve Martin and Martin Short, that's nothing new. But then adding Selena Gomez to the mix, was like, what? They're actually a really charming trio.
Yeah, really and lucky her. She has this golden opportunity. Yeah. We're working with these two guys in something really good.
Yeah. So she gets to work with these two wild and crazy guys.
The two amigos.
Yes.
We're only missing Chevy.
Yeah. That's okay. Selena Gomez is doing great. So, like, the basic premise is that the three of them are, like, true crime podcast enthusiasts. They all live in the same apartment building. And one night somebody's murdered inside the building. I'm like, oh my god. We can have our own podcast. And it proceeds from there.
The show does start completely different than what she says. The show starts with Martin Short and Steve Martin arriving, opening a door, true. And Selena is with a dead body.
Blood.
And it cuts to, I don't remember how long.
That's right, it's like 2 weeks or something. 2 weeks, it's not, or 2 months. It's not a huge amount of time.
It cuts, to the Arconia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we've got the initial mystery of, like, who killed this guy, this first murder victim. What's going on with Selena and the blood and all that. Then the second mystery of who killed that first person. But then there's also a lot of mystery in each of the three of them, their lives.
Yes.
Their personal lives. A lot of secrets. So, like most of my favorite shows, it's not just a good plot, but also, like, really interesting and compelling characters.
Yeah.
And set, like, all the characters are like that. Nathan Lane shows up quite a bit. It's great. I'm really enjoying it.
Tina Fey shows up.
Yes.
We have we have more to it, and it's very interesting. It's very compelling too. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, who did that? It's like, and there's like revelations after revelations and Holly from The Office shows up, and then there's music, there's romance, and there's murders. Yeah,
it's really interesting.
It's good.
They're also doing a great job. The only other show I can think of that does this so well is never mind. A lot of shows do this well, but they do a great job of, like, answering enough questions during the show to, like, leave you, like, satisfied, but then every episode ends with, like, wait, what? And they're doing great with that.
Yeah, no, the cat is a deafness. Is that what it's called? When it's deep, deafness.
Depth.
Is the deafness? No,
just depth.
Deafness of the characters. That you think you know a lot about them, but then comes something else, you know?
Yeah.
You realize that something one character said is something he said on the TV show he used to work 20 years ago.
Yep.
And then that gives questions to the other characters and to us, and then he explains that. But then comes something else more when someone knocks at his door. It's like, hey, where's Lucy? And and this guy that cooks omelets every day. And he does not eat. He throws them away.
Yeah.
It's a really good show. It's kudos to Hulu to get it. I don't know if they made it produced from the beginning or if they bought it from other production company and
either way,
the
good
creators.
call.
But it's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
I think it's every Tuesday there's a new episode. So yeah, there's four episodes available on Hulu right now. So if you wanna find out about the Arconia and why there's only murders in the building, tune up on Hulu every Tuesday.
I highly recommend it. Okay, the other show we're watching, also a mystery.
Should I keep going with my podcast voice?
Yeah, it also. Oh man, I just really love mocking podcasts and true crime podcasts. I also really like listening to them.
I like podcasts. I listen to. I think it's more like. We do a podcast.
Yeah.
But I listen to other podcasts, and true crime, it does not do it for me.
Yeah.
I tried. There's a big crime here. I can't remember which one was it. And there's a friend that listened to it. It's a big famous crime here in South Lake.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the girl that was kidnapped or some other murder. Anyways, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, you should listen to this." Now it's like I tried. It's like, yeah, okay. It doesn't do it for me. Maybe because
it's honestly probably a healthy thing to not be super entertained by.
No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. It's because I'm very visual, and if the same thing as a documentary, it works better for me. But just people sitting and talking about, it's like I want to see.
You want to see it?
I mean, not for crime, not for that kind of thing. For other things, it works in news, entertainment, and people talking garbage, like it's like the guys from Q and the guys from Comic Book Man was tell him Steve Dave to just talk about crap of the week, and it's like I mean I don't know, maybe it's because I watched them so much on TV and then to listen to that, but true crime, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
But I can't keep using my podcast voice to talk about the next subject. The life of 9 different strangers are changed.
9 perfect strangers.
Yeah, I wasn't doing the title of the show.
Sorry.
But the life of 9 strangers is changed drastically when they go to the Olympus. No, it's not the call.
Tranquillum.
The Tranquillum.
Yeah.
Starring Nicole Kidman, Bobby Cannavale, what's her name?
Melissa McCarthy. Which is redundant because we already said starting Bob Cannavale and they do everything together, but yeah.
Michael Shannon, a very different character this time.
Who else?
Regina Hall. The Asian kid that's an idiot on The Quiet Place. Not Quiet Place. The Good Place.
Yeah. Jason in The Good Place.
Yeah. And the other two.
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other two I would not be able to name.
Oh, but she's in so many really fun horror movies.
Yeah? Who? The teenager or the mom?
No, the
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember her from anything.
The hide and seek, the Ready or Not.
Oh, that blondie. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought we were talking about the mom.
Oh, no, I have no idea what she's been in.
Oh, yes, it's
what is her name? I'm looking it up.
Oh, I have her name on Olivia. No, it's Michelle. No, it's not Michelle. It's not female.
Samara
Weaving.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving's niece, or
she was. She is from Australia, right?
Yeah,
she is. She's actually the niece, right? It's not you joking.
Yeah. No, I'm not joking. She's actually related.
Yeah, we saw her lately on hide and seek. And we saw her. She was on Shang-Chi, not Shang-Chi, the other Shang-Chi, Snake Eyes.
Yes, yes.
She was the red hair. What's the bucket? I can't remember. Anyways,
Yeah.
Big cast. Good cast.
Huge cast.
And they go to this. Go ahead. You.
Yeah, so my initial interest in this show was just the cast alone. Like, what on earth could bring this group of people together?
Not HBO, Hulu.
Yeah, still with Hulu. Yeah, they're really
every Monday, every Sunday. I think it's every Monday.
Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Okay, so 9 Perfect Strangers. So, Nicole Kidman is a wellness guru who has a retreat called Tranquillum, and people apply to come. She selects them, and so all these
very exclusive.
People, yes,
very small number of people,
and very mysterious. So people come, and their lives are transformed after 10 days or something at Tranquillum, and so but as we follow, we realize not all is as it seems. There's a lot of weird stuff going on underneath the surface. Only Murders in the Building, these other shows, we have really, each individual character is very interesting and has a lot going on. And every episode, more and more is revealed. So Nicole Kidman's character is this Russian wellness guru who used to be a hotshot Wall Street type person, and then she was killed and resuscitated by Manny Jacinto's character, and now he works with her, and this whole encounter with death transformed her life, and so she's helping these people heal from their own traumas. We've got Michael Shannon is there with his wife and daughter, and they're trying to kind of heal as a family after the suicide of their son. Melissa McCarthy is a novelist who is healing. Anyway, everybody's got their own trauma and baggage that they're healing from. And all kinds of crazy weird stuff goes down.
Yes. Behind that, the main character, Nicole Kidman's character, keeps receiving threats. Nobody knows if someone that used to be there. There's some weird flashbacks.
Yeah, she keeps alluding to could it be from that lawsuit? I'm no, the lawsuit was settled. So somebody got sued over something.
And we start knowing very little from each character, so we don't know if why they're there, what their background, if they have a connection with Nicole Kidman's character, but it's interesting, compelling. It keeps you wondering and thinking. There's a couple moments I was very lost. I was what?
Yes.
But then it turns out to be, but it works in the same trying to Lost did in small doses.
Yeah, giving you just enough to not go insane, but asking big questions you have to come back.
Yeah.
So. I think so far it's been really well made. This cast is delivering. It's compelling. It seems to be well thought out. And as we near the end of, I don't know if they're gonna make multiple seasons or if it's a one shot, but
it's based on a novel, right?
Probably.
So is Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
Anyways, they do really well with multiple characters. They all have depth and they all have something interesting as we learn from each of the strangers. Twists every corner.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, so I definitely recommend.
Also on Hulu every Wednesday.
Yes, for mature audiences.
Yeah, there's butts.
Yes, and drugs and all this other stuff. Smoothies.
Suicide. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, so let's stick with TV for a little bit. Star Trek Day was this past week, and so we've got a lot of new teasers and trailers and announcements for Star Trek shows. So the second season of Picard, we actually have a full-on trailer, and basically Q is continuing the trial that he started at Encounter at Farpoint. He's messed with the timeline, and now they all live in this totalitarian world, and they have to go back in time and fix it.
Yeah, good time travel Star Trek knows how.
Yep, bring back Jerry Ryan. Yeah, a bunch of the cast from the first season, and yeah, it looks good. Some solid Star Trek tropes, like they have to time travel to our current time period. They have to struggle to drive a car. Things like this. Classic Star Trek.
They basically Q creates the mirror universe. And they go back to change. Anyways, we'll have to see what happens. But that's what the mirror universe is, right? Instead of Federation, there's I can't remember the name.
There's an Empire.
Empire. Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. This totalitarian thing didn't seem exactly like that Empire. But
I don't know. It was like a couple of scenes.
Yeah, well, I know things. So there was like none of that. There was no
again. It was a couple of scenes. Maybe,
there was no sword.
Maybe
the was different.
Maybe the camera was here when the camera does here. They are doing this.
There was like a whole.
Like Seinfeld.
I think we should raise our right hands a few more times.
Like Seinfeld does. It's like there's the actual salute, and there's like
Yeah. Anyway, whatever ends up happening, it looks interesting, and the dynamic between Picard and Q is just one of the best things to come out of 50 plus years of Star Trek. So
more from Star Trek. There's a clip showing the new characters on the new Star Trek show for CBS Free Access, whatever Paramount Mountain, Paramount Plus. Strange New Worlds. So we knew Captain Archer.
Nope.
Pike.
Captain Pike. Yep.
We knew Spock. We knew First Officer. What's her name? Una. What's her
name?
Did
we know that before?
Yeah, she was on the show. She was on Discovery.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch some stuff. She doesn't have a last name, but Una. She's based on Majel Barrett Roddenberry's character in the original pilot. That was then reused for the Menagerie.
But on this clip, we find out about all the characters. Some based on characters that we knew from Star Trek, and some new ones, including, for me, intriguing one Nuna Singh character, last name Nuna Singh, which was Khan's last name.
Yeah. So this one, her name was like Lena
Singh.
Anyway, but yeah, last name Noonien Singh. So definitely related somehow to Khan Noonien Singh, but how we don't know. So we'll see what happens there. But Christine Chapel is gonna be there, so that's not one but two of Majel Barrett's 4 Star Trek roles will be represented on this series.
Dr. Mbenga.
Who appears a couple times on the original series, who's a colleague of Dr. McCoy, obviously. And then, yes, one very young communications officer, Nyota Uhura.
Yes. And of course, new races, new aliens. There's a new character alien on the bridge.
Yep. Yeah, so lots of good stuff there. I am excited about this series because it's filling in a gap, and with this like huge influx of characters, I'm really hoping that they can be doing like new stuff, which is what Star Trek is all about, instead of like rehashing over and over. Like, I love Spock. I will stand Spock like forever, but oh my gosh, can we just like give that a break and maybe develop some other characters? And it seems like this is gonna do that.
What are you talking about? Spock is on this.
I know, but there's a ton of other characters, so I'm hoping maybe we can focus on that.
Okay, Pike is the captain, so at least it's not going to be Discovery that's like heavily Spock based, because the girl is Spock's sister. And there's the whole relationship with him, and the whole relationship with Vulcan, and anyways. Yes, moving on.
Looks promising. Okay, also in TV, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist has been doing some stuff with Roku, and they've announced that they're going to do a Christmas
movie.
Yeah,
and that's the one we talked about already. If it's successful, they might revive the show. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Christmas is a good idea. It just lends itself so easily to music and singing and stuff, so it'll be fun. All right, over in movies. been a rough year for the box office. It's still off by 72% from 2019.
Is it off by, or is it 72% off?
Well, the headline I've got here says it's off by 72%.
Okay, so yeah.
So that's bad.
It's bad. And a bunch of studios like Paramount and some other start again with the whole that we're not going to release it. We're going to postpone. One that's not going to postpone is Disney after the apparent success of Shang-Chi. They promised, they committed, even though there's a lawsuit involved on the whole situation. They said that they're not going to do more the premium access for the movies. They're going to follow a 45-day window from movie release to streaming release. Still about that, it was said this week that Scarlett Johansson's team asked for $100 million for the release of Black Widow on premium access Disney Plus.
Yeah. It's a lot of dollars.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dollars.
But again, you don't know, and you might never know how much that hurt the theater release.
Yeah. Well, something that could be helping out fall box office numbers is Let There Be Carnage. They've moved their release date up to October 1st.
Yes. And still about spiders.
Yeah.
There's one coming soon on No Way Home. Is it called?
Yeah.
No Way Home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they all home? I keep missing.
Yeah, there's Homecoming and then Far From Home and now No Way Home.
Okay. There's a leak. There was a leak this week that shows one Andrew Garfield dressed as Spider-Man talking to a hand that looks like Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. So it's kind of confirming or increasing the rumors that we're gonna see more than one Spider-Man on the new movie. Since we saw Doc Ock from the other universe, we might see Miles, we might see Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, Spider-Gwen.
Sure.
You know? I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was such a big success. It won an Oscar for animation. Right. So you know, Sony is willing to bet all their chips on that. So was Disney. So hey, let's do this. It might be a way to split the deal and give Marvel MCU their Spider-Man and getting Sony their Spider-Man, since they already have their Venom. You know. Okay. What else?
Not me.
I only guess.
Know. But Spider-Man does seem to be a pretty good investment. Not just for movies, but for comic books, too. So Amazing Fantasy number 15 was Spider-Man's debut back in 1962. And an issue just sold at auction for
$3.5 million.
That is an insane amount of money for a comic book.
It beat a record that was Action Comics. It was $3.26 million. It's close, but it beats it. And yeah, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. So Spider-Man is a good investment.
Yeah, it's and Spider-Man was always one of the biggest on the Marvel side. It was one of the biggest sellers, the best sellers. And then X-Men, and believe it or not, comes like behind all that I think Fantastic Four, and behind all that come the Avengers. A bunch of Avengers. What are you talking about? It's like fans would know, like other people. Like
sure.
Iron Man and Hulk and Thor, Captain America, but then the others, Hawkeye, Black Widow, like nobody.
But they're so cool.
But anyways.
Yeah. Well, Sony is still... So Sony's not working on any Spider-Man movies, but they announced a whole bunch of new, very exciting games for PlayStation, including Spider-Man 2. Yeah,
Sony had this showcase this week to announce what's coming for the PlayStation 5. And on the showcase, they show a first trailer of Spider-Man 2, the sequel for the PS4 game Spider-Man. and includes both Peter Parker, the original Spider-Man, and Miles Morales, the sidekick. And there's a narration, and they walking towards the dark alley, and there's someone asking who could be my ally, my beat me, whatever, and then we hear "We could," and Venom pops up, which looks like a threatening, scary Venom.
Yeah, no, this is a creepy dude.
Not funny.
No.
Yeah.
No, nothing comedic here at all.
And yeah, again, I literally take 1.5 Spider-Man to fight Venom, and people involved saying it's good. The guy that voices Venom is the guy that used to voice, I don't know about the new Candyman, but it's the guy that used to be the old Candyman on the movies. And he's also in that movie's Final Destination. He's the guy at the morgue. It's like, see
that
you
guy.
soon.
Okay. Creepy dude.
So that's good. That's exciting. But one of the biggest ones is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake for PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
A classic Star Wars game RPG, full-on RPG. This it's not for everybody. It's not action. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of actions and things to choose, and different endings. And anyways, it's the type of game that's like you talking to someone and you choose to be nice or you choose to be a jerk. It might change the destiny of the characters. But yeah, for PC and Xbox, and now it's going to be remade for PC and PS5. And it's exciting because it's a really great game.
And the PS5, as we finally have gotten to experience this week, is a really great console.
It does live up of the expectations. It's and these games, like Spider-Man, is going to come out in 2023, so they're going to work to use all the capabilities of the system, and hopefully they will, because I'm playing with the new Spider-Man, I'm playing Miles Morales, and even though Sony denies, it's not a DLC, it's not an expansion, it kind of is. The game is not as big as the actual Spider-Man game, and hopefully the second one's gonna be as big too. Yeah.
So they've also teased a Wolverine game and God of War Ragnarok. So lots of exciting stuff.
Yeah. Ragnarok was definitely not a surprise. We knew about it. We knew the name, but we could see images. It looks beautiful. And post the showcase, the producer director announced that this will be the last one, guys.
Really?
This is the end.
Oh boy.
We're gonna close the story. It's called Ragnarok. And if you know what Ragnarok is, the rock of Ragnus. No, it's how the gods die. It's the apocalypse of the Norse mythology. And they said that this will be the end. We're gonna close this in a duology. And
okay. Right on.
Even though I think at the end of God of War 3, was it? There was like something in the future. Maybe it was concept arts. Maybe I'm mixing information. So that one we knew about it. But one that was a big surprise, at least for me, is Insomniac, the company that Sony bought. And Sony has been buying video game studios lately. And buying Insomniac was like a no-brainer. It was like a really great business decision. They are behind Uncharted games. They're behind Spider-Man games. And from Insomniac, from these guys, come a new game for the Marvel characters, the Wolverine game. And that one was like, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. It was just like a very short little teaser, like basically like a fist on a bar and then shing.
But we see Princess Bar. So it's from the comic books. It's Madipur, an island where Wolverine goes and stays there, like self-exiled for a while. He changed his name to Patch, and that's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's because he wears a eye patch.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. there's a lot of interesting stuff that could go. And from the original Spider-Man, not the second, but from the original Spider-Man, there's a lot of background, side story, curiosities, like zipping through New York on the original one. You not only see the Avengers Towers, but you see the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange lives. You see the Foggy and Nelson lawyers building where Daredevil work as a lawyer, and there's like so many cool things you see through the game.
Yeah.
That they had attention to detail. They really do really well. And since you're gonna have Logan, you're gonna have Wolverine, and you have Spider-Man, maybe that classic crossover that happens in the books all the time. And
Yeah.
it's really fun. Pete and Logan, yeah, kicking butts.
Yes. Interesting. All right. Last but not least, we've got a trailer for The Matrix Resurrection.
Yes.
And it was very revealing.
It looks, Keanu looks like John Wick, which I guess is his current look now, and nobody
If
has
it ain't broke,
anything
don't
against
fix
it.
Yeah. I said if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. But I mean, that's his, we don't know yet, but that's his look inside the Matrix. Because when he's outside, he's head shaved.
Yeah.
Maybe face shaved, who knows. But we see Neo and Trinity from the original trilogy, and we see new characters. There's a black dude fighting with Neo. Is that Morpheus? And if that's Morpheus, the same Morpheus?
IMDb says it's Morpheus.
Yeah, so it is the same Morpheus?
That's a good question. If I was casting somebody to look like Lawrence Fishburne, he'd be a good choice.
Yeah.
But...
Is there a prequel?
Yeah. No. Well, no.
I mean, it's Resurrection, right? So
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be a prequel.
No. I don't know. It looks interesting. Couple names that I'm excited to see. Neil Patrick Harris shows up in this one, as well as Jonathan Groff, who was just so incredible in his 3 minutes on stage in Hamilton. I look forward to seeing more of him acting. He was King George, just in case you forgot.
Oh, that's who he is. They look familiar.
Yeah.
I thought it was from Frozen. It's him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Olaf?
Nope. I think he's Hans.
No, Olaf. What's the name of the...
Kristoff. He's Kristoff. Not Hans. He's Kristoff.
What? Yeah, Hans is the...
Hans is the evil.
No, Hans.
Boyfriend.
The what's the name of the deer?
Sven is the reindeer.
Sven, yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, Matrix looks intense.
Yeah.
Looks full of action and some good visual effects, as the originals.
Yeah.
Let's see. So many changed since the originals, including the directors. There were Larry and Andy Wachowski. And now the two girls, Lana.
Yes.
And Lana.
The Wachowski brothers made the first one. The Wachowski sisters.
I think with the credits, only show one name, right?
I saw Lana.
Are they both involved?
That's a good question. Boy, where would we be without IMDb?
No, look, right there. Okay, Lana. So I guess.
Oh yeah.
But who wrote? Oh, I guess.
Oh, there's Lily.
Okay, so they both involved. Okay.
Oh no, well. No, it just says based on characters.
Oh, okay, so I guess only
by
one.
Lily Wachowski.
Yeah, the other one is not involved. Maybe produced. Yeah, you're gonna get his money or our money. But very very intense, fun bid. There's doing the trailer for the new Matrix. There's a scene where someone is watching the Matrix. We don't know if it's someone watching or if it's one of those Morpheus showing Neo what's going on in the Matrix.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hope and wait, and it's at least exciting. But yeah, anything else?
I think that's plenty. That's all I got.
But yeah, fun. Next week we're gonna be at Fan X, Salt Lake City Fan X.
Yes.
A lot of
After
fun.
2 years.
Fun, exciting things. I was checking the lists today, and I saw Peter David. It's gonna be just whoa, Peter David. He created Spider-Man 2099. He had a long, successful, awarded run on the Hulk, and the smart Hulk, the good one, not the crap from the movie. And yeah, it's gonna be full of celebrities and people from TV, the movies, comic books, cosplayers, and we're gonna be there checking everything. And we're gonna come back and comment.
Okay.
Yeah, so follow our coverage on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and here on our podcast on all the podcasts network, Audible, Amazon, Apple, Google. What's the big big one? Spotify. Heart. What's that heart called? iHeartRadio. And we see you next week with another episode of Retina Weekly. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.